Well, the location was Hofstra University, and the occasion is the first U.S. presidential debate. It's the big face-off that was eagerly being watched out for. A debate that was made up of personal tribes, jibes, and also many issues coming to light. Because you had on one side Hillary Clinton with her political experience taking on the tycoon turned a TV face, turned a politician now, Donald Trump, who's been able to clinch the Republican nominee for White House race. The candidates clashed repeatedly over several issues concerning the U.S., from economic policy to tax cuts to even gender and race, all making it to this potboiler debate. So first, let's take you through the highlights of the debate.
First, we have to build an economy that works for everyone, not just those at the top. That means we need new jobs, good jobs, with rising incomes. I want us to invest in you. I want us to invest in your future. That means jobs in infrastructure, in advanced manufacturing, in innovation and technology, clean renewable energy, and small business, because most of the new jobs will come from small business. We also have to make the economy fairer. That starts with raising the national minimum wage and also guarantee, finally, equal pay for women's work.
Our jobs are fleeing the country. They're going to Mexico. They're going to many other countries. You look at what China is doing to our country in terms of making our product. They're devaluing their currency, and there's nobody in our government to fight them. And we have a very good fight, and we have a winning fight, because they're using our country as a piggy bank to rebuild China. And many other countries are doing the same thing. So we're losing our good jobs, so many of them. But we have to stop our jobs from being stolen from us. We have to stop our companies from leaving.
What I believe is the more we can do for the middle class, the more we can invest in you, your education, your skills, your future, the better we will be off and the better we'll grow. That's the kind of economy I want us to see again.
I'll be reducing taxes tremendously, from 35% to 15% for companies, small and big businesses. It's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. Companies will come, they will build, they will expand, new companies will start, and I look very, very much forward to doing it. We have to renegotiate our trade deals, and we have to stop these countries from stealing our companies and our jobs.
So the reason we picked out the trade and taxes is because that's where Trump felt that he had a strong footing and started his attack on Hillary with that. Let me go across to my colleague Smita, who's joining us from Hawaii, and also Prerna, who's getting us latest from New York. So going across to Prerna first, how's the speech been rated by the Hillary camp? Let's talk about Hillary Clinton first. What were the major highlights?
Well, clearly it was a debate that needed no moderation. Both Hillary and Trump really went for each other's vulnerabilities. As far as Hillary Clinton is concerned, as you asked, she went after the vulnerabilities that Trump has projected vis-a-vis his tax record, vis-a-vis the job creation, taxation for wealthy. Hillary's plan was to lower the taxes for the middle class, while Trump's really platform has been to, give businesses the boost to create an economy that will create jobs in the United States. A lot of other things really happened after that, which is that PolitiFact and Bloomberg, there were a lot of other independent organizations that had been fact-checking Trump's speeches. And there were clearly a few points that Trump really was stumped on, which is that he said he did not vote for the Iraq war. It was clearly proved that he did. Also, when he started the whole birther movement against Obama, causing issues regarding his birth certificate, that was also checked as a false statement. His statement on climate change being a hoax that he denied at this juncture today, so that was also proven to be a false statement. So clearly a lot of false statements emerging there from Trump, and that might be a good thing for Hillary Clinton.
All right, Prerna, be with us. Let me take this question to Smita. Smita, what were the key points that you watched out for in this first U.S. presidential debate?
Well, to begin with, it's aloha from Hawaii, where the time difference, of course, is 6 hours from New York, where Prerna, of course, after watching the debate now must be preparing to enjoy her dinner and maybe a drink or two. But having said that, in this debate, really, by and large, if you were to compare the two candidates, to me, it looked like Hillary Clinton came out better. Round one did go to her. She was more organized. She was calm. Donald Trump was being himself. He was just being Donald Trump, except for maybe trying to adopt a little more subtle tone, but not, he doesn't really know the meaning of nuances. Perhaps, that's something that's always found lacking in him. But as Prerna, in fact, mentioned, Hillary literally tore him off on the issues of birtherism, on the issue of his attitude towards women, his comments that have always been considered as misogynist, especially when it comes to women, his comments regarding a former Impact beauty pageant who is now an American citizen and who has spoken out against Donald Trump. But at the same time, if I were to take you through the commentaries on US media, across TV stations in the US media, post the debate, it does look like this is still not the clinching round, really. Both of them can perform much better. They can be much more surprises. This is just the first face-off. It goes to Hillary Clinton, but will it manage to give her a huge impact lead compared to Donald Trump? That's something we'll have to wait and watch once the polling results start coming.
All right, so Smita and Prerna, let's break it down for our viewers back home. First, going across to Prerna, on the scale of 1 to 5, Prerna, how do you rate first Hillary Clinton's points over economy and trade?
Hillary Clinton stayed a little away from rhetoric, laying out her plan. So, she went a little away from hyperboles that Trump offered. So in terms of just her economics and her tax plan, she really had it more clearly laid out. So one could say she's definitely over a 3 on that.
Okay, 3 for Hillary Clinton from Prerna's side on speechometer. For Hillary Clinton over economic policy. What about Donald Trump, Prerna? How do you rate him on scale of 1 to 5? With Donald Trump saying that the jobs need to stay with the U.S. Citizens. They should not be given out to Mexicans and Chinese.
Well, nobody in America denies that the jobs need to stay. However, the problem with the Trump rhetoric is that there is no concrete plan. There are allegations and there are a lot of complaints that come out with him often, but we have not seen a single great policy statement or coherent policy statement coming out of Trump. So, it's very difficult to really rate Trump on this yardstick because, he's never been really forthcoming or he's never been very clear about where he stands and what his plan is.
All right. So, Smita, what's your number for Trump on scale of 1 to 5 then? On front of economic policy and the way he has raked up unemployment in the United States, blaming the Mexicans and the immigration for it, blaming Chinese for stealing their jobs.
Look, one thing was clear. Trump was actually addressing the constituency that has been the constituency he has been addressing in the run-up to this campaign process. He wasn't trying to reach out to any additional constituency at the moment. He is, of course, a multi-billionaire. We know the rise, of Donald Trump. But as Hillary Clinton pointed out, that he's somebody who also was born in a way with a silver spoon in his mouth. And, he had a father who could loan him a huge amount of money. So which is why Donald Trump knows that Hillary Clinton carries the baggage of incumbency. She has had 8 years of democratic rule of Barack Obama, that recession of 2009. That's what he's attacking here. So I would go with a, with a 2.5 really with Donald Trump. And perhaps the way he ended trying to say that I have the temperament and Hillary Clinton has experience, but it's bad experience. It's the voters who will decide.
So, Smita, giving Donald Trump 2.5, so that's a bit less than rating for Hillary Clinton from Prerna's side. But be with us because now let's take a look at the controversies in this debate, because there were many controversies, many personal jibes. Even Hillary Clinton's health was a point of interaction between the two candidates. Take a listen.
I will release my tax returns against my lawyer's wishes when she releases her 33,000 emails that have been deleted. As soon as she releases them, I will release my tax returns. Almost every lawyer says you don't release your returns until the audit's complete. When the audit's complete, I'll do it. But I would go against them if she releases her emails.
So it's negotiable?
For 40 years, everyone running for president has released their tax returns. You can go and see nearly, I think, 39, 40 years of our tax returns, but everyone has done it. I made a mistake using a private email.
That's for sure.
And if I had to do it over again, I would obviously do it differently. But I'm not going to make any excuses. It was a mistake, and I take responsibility for that.
Well, it's a candid apology that came from the Democratic nominee. And this is the email controversy that's been haunting Hillary Clinton's campaign. And this is what she said: made a mistake using private email, versus Donald Trump saying will release tax returns when you release 30,000 emails. So Hillary Clinton was trying to target Donald Trump, saying that he's not paid his income tax returns and that's why he's a tax evader, while Donald Trump hitting out at Hillary Clinton, saying what about the private email that you used and private server that you used to send official emails. My colleague Shiva Roor, who's joining me from New York as well. Now, Shiva, how do you see the two candidates racing to the White House? How do you see their speeches today, specifically with the controversy haunting Hillary Clinton over her email? Do you feel satisfied with the response?
Well, I think for starters, the debate definitely lived up to the enormous media hype that surrounded the debate for the days and the hours actually leading up to it. Both Clinton and Donald Trump were in completely full form. Both of them started a little slow, but they both got down to their, their comfortable elements where they, took very personal pot shots at each other. The tax returns issue for Donald Trump, the emails issue for Hillary Clinton. But I think the overall sense is that Hillary Clinton, won this particular debate, if, that word can actually be used, because, there were more interruptions from Trump's side. He seemed to be more flustered through a larger part of the actual debate. Hillary was able to pin him down on, greater issues of discomfort, things like the tax return issue, his, alleged xenophobia, the birth certificate of Obama, several other issues. Also, Trump, who was expected to, emerge in this debate with more specifics as far as policy, wasn't actually perceived to be doing that, while Hillary has continued to, actually talk about, policy issues and how she's going to be a better president. So in that sense, I think the general perception is that Hillary won this round.
All right, that was Shiv joining us from Washington, D.C. Shiv, be with us. Let me go across to Smita. Now, Smita, how do you rate Hillary Clinton's defense over the email controversy on scale of 1 to 5?
I think the best that she could have done was by saying that, yes, indeed, I made a mistake, but I'm not trying to make any excuses to justify it. And if I could go back in time, perhaps I would do it differently. Remember, Devina, really this email issue in the US is now sort of become a non-issue because there's not been any serious indictment as far as Hillary Clinton is concerned. Of course, compared to, the DNC leak issue, Donald Trump coming up with some rather bizarre statements on the DNC statement issue, saying that, who knows, it's just Russia who's hacked those emails. It could even be China or maybe a 400-pound guy sitting on some computer. Now, that's a statement that could cause, a lot of anger amongst a little heavyweight people or people with obesity. So on the email issue, I guess it's a kind of issue which does not, for the common people, for the larger masses, really, economy does remain one of the biggest issues, and they do know that Hillary Clinton has, of course, had experience as the State Department's, as the foreign minister of the country, as the Secretary of State. So I met her, in fact, in Hawaii. The other day I was talking to a Vietnam War veteran, and he seemed to suggest that, look, Trump's entire campaign is based on hatred, and Hillary, as far as Benghazi is concerned,
so is that a good 4 from your end, Smita? Will you be generous for Hillary Clinton? 4 on 5 for her email defense?
I would stay with 3 on 5 at the moment because, yes, it has been an issue.
Okay, 3 on 5 from Smita on Hillary Clinton's defense over the email controversy. She said, I will not make any excuses. I made a mistake. I'm sorry about that. Will that cut ice with the voters or not? Smita, Shiv and Prerna, be with us. We're taking a very short... Well, it was a no-holds-barred first U.S. presidential debate in the race to the White House between two candidates of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Very unlikely candidate as well. We'll take a look at the history of the first U.S. presidential debate just to give you an idea how this one has been different and what have been the other landmark debates as well. 1960 Nixon versus Kennedy was the first televised presidential debate in the United States, where Kennedy stole the show from Nixon, clearly being more TV friendly. 1976 Ford versus Carter. Gerald Ford made a gaffe about Soviet Union expansion but was able to recover from it. 1992 it was Bush versus Clinton. George H. Bush checked his watch when he was asked about national debt, raking headlines that he's not interested in the economy. 2000, Al Gore versus George Bush. Al Gore made some off-camera sides and smirks. It was seen that he was completely exasperated. 2012, Mitt Romney versus Obama, where Mitt Romney was hailed as a crowd favorite, and cut to now 2016, where the verdict is not clearly out between Hillary and Donald Trump, who really stole the show. But there have been a speculation about Hillary Clinton's health, which also made it to the podium, because this is where Hillary Clinton was attacked by Donald Trump over her stamina, where Donald Trump said she doesn't have the look, she doesn't have the stamina, where Hillary Clinton said stand for 11 hours in the congressional committee and then you talk about the stamina. So this is where the two had a face-off. Hillary doesn't have the look, doesn't have the stamina, coming from the Republican nominee for the White House. Let me go across to Smita, Prerna and Shivu joining us very, very quickly. Now, Prerna, first up to you. A direct jibe at Hillary's health, the condition be also around 9/11 memorial, where she had to be taken away. Her doctor said she's suffering from pneumonia. So questions were raised about whether she's fit to be the United States president. Hillary taking it in stride. On scale of 1 to 5, how do you rate this particular diatribe between the two?
Well, as far as Donald Trump's remark on Hillary Clinton, that was really 2 on 5. He's made several personal remarks on her, be it calling her crooked Hillary or now calling her unfit, to be a president. Hillary's really response, I would say, would be a 4 on 5. She was really statesmanlike, unlike Donald Trump, who was rolling his eyes through the debate, making some sorts of expressions. Hillary really held her ground. She was calm and composed throughout, responded with a direct answer, which is, I am prepared to be president, unlike you, Donald Trump. So I would rate Hillary as 4 on 5 on that.
4 and 5. Smita, what's your rating for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump? Hillary Clinton on a health condition, the way she replied to Donald Trump, I do have the stamina.
Well, I would, yes, go with a 4 to Hillary Clinton, like Prerna, but perhaps a 2. I wouldn't have given this 2 to Donald Trump, but he clearly knows that this is an issue that he can rake up, because the stamina of the commander-in-chief does matter. But Hillary came back with grace and she says, let's talk. After you've been to 112 countries, you've really done what I have done through all the years in powers of corridor, because Donald Trump clearly is an outsider as far as that political power corridor is concerned. And those personal sort of remarks not going down really well on the stage there, not looking very graceful.
Another big point between the two was gender, because that's been another card played between the two candidates in this US presidential debate, where Trump has said that I've never discriminated against women, and Hillary Clinton saying that Trump called women pigs. So I'm completely out of time, but very quickly, Prerna, what's your rating on the gender debate for Trump and Hillary Clinton?
Well, Trump, as far as gender debate is concerned, I would not go beyond 1.5.
Okay.
He's made some, statements after that, coming out and clarifying his stance. Really, 1.5. Hillary has been really strong on women, and I would again, give her 4 on 5. She has not addressed certain issues, which is, the allegations against Bill Clinton, the women who came after Bill Clinton, and she not supporting them. So I would really deduct that 1 mark on her, but. Full points for talking about Planned
For the first female US president nominee, it took America that long, well, Smita, it seems. But how would you rate the gender debate fight that you saw on stage with both Donald Trump and Hillary?
Oh, I think that was one where actually Hillary tore into Donald Trump, even as, of course, the debate was sort of getting wrapped up. I do give Hillary a 4 on that, not because I'm a woman, not because America has yet to have its first woman commander-in-chief or ceiling that we broke way back in South Asia, and definitely a 1 to Donald Trump for his continuous jibes at most women, remarks that have been misogynist. One can only, expect these debates perhaps, because there are 3 more debates to go on from here on, and they could get uglier as far as Donald Trump is concerned. He's known for personal attacks. For the moment today, perhaps Leslie Holt was saying kokua for, malaho for your kokua, or thank you for your cooperation, to keep it at least as kind of as possible, but it could just get down from here.
All right, those are the major highlights for the first U.S. presidential debate. Smita, Prerna, Shiv, thank you for joining us. Can't get more exciting than this, even as the U.S. presidential race looks very tight between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. This was their first U.S. presidential debate, which happened wee hours India time in the morning. But the verdict is still not out. Who's winning, who's losing? We are trying to give you the entire perspective and decoding their speeches for you. The first big attack between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and the big war of words was over the email controversy, where Donald Trump said, we'll release tax returns when you release your 30,000 emails, and Hillary Clinton said, made a mistake using a private email. Hillary Clinton getting thumbs up from her voters for apologizing about the email controversy. Take a listen to how this exchange happened.
I will release my tax returns against my lawyer's wishes when she releases her 33,000 emails that have been deleted. As soon as she releases them, I will release my tax returns. Almost every lawyer says you don't release your returns until the audit's complete. When the audit's complete, I'll do it. But I would go against them if she releases her emails.
So it's negotiable?
For 40 years, everyone running for president has released their tax returns. You can go and see nearly, I think, 39, 40 years of our tax returns, but everyone has done it. You know, I made a mistake using a private email.
That's for sure.
And if I had to do it over again, I would obviously do it differently. But I'm not going to make any excuses. It was a mistake, and I take responsibility for that.
And the next big point of contention was immigration and jobs. Now, we've seen Donald Trump making speeches which have been anti-immigration, and that's what Hillary Clinton hit home with, saying we'll help people be more naturalized and eligible people will be offered citizenship in the United States, is what the message was coming from the Hillary camp. But here's what Donald Trump said: can't let Mexican and Chinese take our jobs. Take a listen.
First, we have to build an economy that works for everyone, not just those at the top. That means we need new jobs, good jobs, with rising incomes. I want us to invest in you. I want us to invest in your future. That means jobs in infrastructure, in advanced manufacturing, in innovation and technology, clean renewable energy, and small business, because most of the new jobs will come from small business. We also have to make the economy fairer. That starts with raising the national minimum wage and also guarantee, finally, equal pay for women's work.
Our jobs are fleeing the country. They're going to Mexico. They're going to many other countries. You look at what China is doing to our country in terms of making our product. They're devaluing their currency, and there's nobody in our government to fight them. And we have a very good fight, and we have a winning fight, because they're using our country as a piggy bank to rebuild China, and many other countries are doing the same thing. So we're losing our good jobs, so many of them. But we have to stop our jobs from being stolen from us. We have to stop our companies from leaving.
Now, trade and economy, remember, are the strong points of Donald Trump, who's a business tycoon turned a television host turned a politician now. So the tax debate was eagerly watched out for, where Hillary Clinton said Donald Trump only wants rich to get richer. Trump's plans only add to debt. Trump plan referring to the fact that how Donald Trump has said that there should be less taxes for the companies, for the wealthier people, so that they can invest more in the economy and create jobs. To which Donald Trump said, it's about time someone who knows about money runs the country. Take a listen.
What I believe is the more we can do for the middle class, the more we can invest in you, your education, your skills, your future, the better we will be off and the better we'll grow. That's the kind of economy I want us to see again.
I'll be reducing taxes tremendously, from 35% to 15% for companies, small and big businesses. It's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. Companies will come, they will build, they will expand, new companies will start, and I look very, very much forward to doing it. We have to renegotiate our trade deals, and we have to stop these countries from stealing our companies and our jobs.
So here's a look at the gun control debate that's been raging in the United States. And with the recent shootings that have happened, there has been a concern about the gun control laws that need to be initiated. Hillary Clinton saying gun epidemic behind deaths of African Americans. But Donald Trump sticking to his guns and literally saying law and order is the problem.
We do always have to make sure we keep people safe. There are the right ways of doing it, and then there are ways that are ineffective. Stop and frisk was found to be unconstitutional, and in part because it was ineffective. It did not do what it needed to do.
African Americans, Hispanics are living in hell because it's so dangerous. You walk down the street, you get shot. In Chicago, they've had thousands of shootings, thousands, since January 1st. Now, whether or not in a place like Chicago you do stop and frisk, which worked very well, Mayor Giuliani is here, it worked very well in New York, it brought the crime rate way down.
Well, race was another major factor in the debate where Hillary Clinton has hit out at Donald Trump, saying that he's used words which are racist against the African American community. Race is still a major determinant, is what Hillary Clinton said, to which Donald Trump said Clinton doesn't want to use the words and it's the law and order which needs to be strengthened. And here's where the two also had a direct face-off. And let's not forget that this is not the only one. You also had Donald Trump hitting out at Barack Obama's birth certificate, saying that he is not a United States citizen. And that's where Hillary took another jibe at Donald Trump, saying that this is not the politics that we've been groomed for, and that's what we would be endorsing as the United States president. Here's also my colleague Shivaru joining us from Washington, D.C. Now, Shiv, we've seen what both the camps said and decoded it for our viewers point by point. But how are you seeing Americans reacting to the first U.S. presidential debate?
Well, in the American system, the presidential debates, system is extremely important. When image is everything, the words of, contenders are hugely important. The candidates are hugely important. Debates are something that simply cannot be discounted. It's not just, a media mela. It's not just an event. This is something that voters are hanging on to. The American voter, is probably saying, we've been entertained for the last many months. The media hype around Trump and Hillary, this epic battle that has culminated in the first of a series of presidential debates. But now it's about the voter. They want answers, so they will have been hanging on to every single word that both Hillary and Trump have offered them. So it's no longer just a tamasha. This is serious business. There are going to be more presidential debates. There are questions that Americans have, and these are issues that are hugely emotive to tens of millions of Americans. Job losses, things like national security, things like the economy, whether quality of living is going to get any better, gun control. These are issues that are not fun and games. What we see on social media, the soundbite culture that has surrounded these.
Absolutely. And what's the impact on India after the Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump face-off? What is the takeaway for the Indian audience is what we talk about.